Hey guys, so in today's vlog, I just want to share with you guys this really cool experience I had with my husband's soul, if you want to call it soul. So just a background on me, just if you don't know, I am a widow. I have been a widow for 13 years, I believe, 13 years now. And my husband passed away actually February 3rd, and his funeral was February 10th. And then, so you can imagine, Valentine's, like February is a heavy month for me usually. July is another month for, and anybody listening that's a widow out there will be able to resonate and understand what I'm saying and how it feels. So February is a heavy month, and then also the month of July is usually heavy for me because my birthday is in July. His birthday was a day before mine, no, a day after my birthday. So July can get a little heavy. Our wedding, we got married July 17th, so July can be heavy. Anyways, with that said, how do I deal with these holidays basically? So let's just hone into February because I want to share this experience, and this is like if I can lighten someone's day a little bit, if you've gone through losing a spouse, or I guess I can only say spouse because I've lost my dad too, but I'm specifically talking about like a spouse right now. So what I typically do is I don't give February 14th any of my attention. I usually I don't even give it any interest. That's what I've just learned to program and condition myself to do over the years. So when people say, oh my God, it's gonna be Valentine's Day, for me, I just act surprised, like, oh yeah, oh, right, yeah, I didn't even realize it. And I don't know if that's healthy, but it's definitely worked for me, where I don't put any emotion into a day that's created by society for love. Like, I just don't choose to see it that way. So I've done this for years. That's kind of how I've gotten through that pain of like, thinking of other people still allowed to be families, like family units with their kids. They get to celebrate Valentine's Day, or even when it comes to Mother's Day or Father's Day. The only thing that's gotten me through it, yeah, you know, I have my breakdowns for sure. It depends on a lot of things, like how I feel. Are there major stresses going on around that time? A lot of it. So yeah, the way I've protected myself is acknowledge it, but not acknowledge it at the same time. Now, something crazy happened this year. So a few days ago, I'm in a huge transition in my life. So I'm 43, so I'm in my sixth, so our life cycles go by sevens. A beginning and an end has to happen within the 7-year cycle. I'm 43, so I'm in my sixth cycle. And this sixth cycle is the biggest, like I've gone through, I think, the biggest positive vibrational changes in my life. The hardest I've gone through so many lessons in the last like 3 years. The beginning of this cycle was I just had to hang like a hangman. I had to surrender. I had to go through and accept suffering as it is and just walk through it, learn the lessons, and move on, which has brought me to this beautiful high vibration. I'm changing my life completely. I'll share that in another vlog. I'm very excited for the next little while of my life, or however long it may be, but I have not control over it now, but I feel like I have done so much surrender that I have allowed things to come in my life, and I'm living my life in genuine peace and happiness. And I think that's a very honorable and precious position to be in, and I'm very grateful for it. So back to February and Valentine's Day. So since I've been in that vibration that I just described, a positive, beautiful vibration of oneness with Mother Nature and the ether, I'm going to talk a little bit about spirits now. So I do often, I often feel my dad, and my dad will present himself in funny ways. Like, he was a smoker, so I'll be in my car and he loves like sending me the smell of cigarettes, which I hated, by the way, but that's what he does. And I know that my dad's in the car with me, and I'll just kind of like, you know, pipe up a conversation, and I test my own psychic intuitive the thought forms. Like, can I pick up on his thought forms? So I'll start a conversation and I'll practice with him, and I'll be like, okay, you've got it. If you're no. Ugh, I didn't get that, Dad. But that I know. So now that I have this like dialogue with my dad, and I've been very, like, I feel my grandpa a lot, my grandma. So I've been accepting, maybe it's because I've increased my vibration. Actually, now that I'm talking about it, I'm just thinking that maybe because I've increased my vibration, it's easier for them to connect. I don't know. So the other day I was doing some research on just some stuff, and all of a sudden, like, my floor cracks, and it's been so cold here, it's been snowing, so when the wood, it's real wood, so when it shrinks, it just cracks a little bit more. So I heard this like real like heavy crack to my left side, to the left side, and I just knew intuitively, like, this isn't the regular sound that my floor usually makes when it's constricting. So I just like turned around, and I felt like, I felt like it was my husband, and I just was like, hey, I hear you, and I blew him a kiss, like, hey. That's it. And then I went back to my studies. But in my mind's eye, I did think, is it him? I did think that. I didn't say it, but I said hi, and I blew him a kiss. Within 1 minute, my house alarm out of nowhere goes off. Okay, within 1 minute. And that, to me, I just smiled, maybe cried a little bit. But I just knew that was him telling me that it's him, and he's like, he's here. And I know he's here a lot. Like, I do feel his presence, but it was so nice to get that affirmation. And I just like I said, cried a little bit. That was, made me happy. It made me so happy. And then my son's like, what the heck? And he gets up. Oh, and not to mention, my battery's not working. Please don't rob me. But my battery is not working in my alarm. So he tripped it. Something happened, and the battery in that thing hasn't been working for like 6 months. So then my son's like, what the heck? Goes, turns the alarm off, comes back here. He was studying. It was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Comes back, sits down. And as I'm in the family room, and I'm just like, oh my God, thank you for that. Like, thank you. He trips it again. So not once, but the alarm went off twice. An alarm that has, the battery's like dead. It's maybe at like 2%, not even. It doesn't even beep when we press it. And it was full on like, going off. So then my son's like, what the heck? I didn't say anything to him. He had no idea. He's like, what is going on? So he's like, this thing doesn't even work. He gets up, turns the alarm off. And I just said, thank you. Well, I was in the family room, and I just said, thank you. I know it's you. Thank you so much. I think the second time it's just like, just recognizing my emotions and just the connection that you still feel, right? Like, they're still here. And then once Armand turned the alarm off again, I didn't say anything to him, but I just said, like, thank you. And I know you're like, but don't do that again. Don't. because Armand's trying to study, like today, don't do it again. And he did it, and that was it. He tripped it 2 times, but it was such a soulful experience that I wanted to share this with other people. If you've lost somebody, they're always around you, and I can actually give you, like, this is my proof. This is my proof. And I'm so glad my son was here. I didn't tell him until way later in the evening, like, that was your dad tripping it. This is what happened. And he's like, oh, okay, because he's used to this kind of talk with me. So anyways, happy Valentine's Day to all of you. And, you know, for people that are experiencing a little bit of suffering, I just want you to know that they're still with you. And they're still with you. Just know that. Write to them, speak to them. They hear you. You can light an incense for them. You can put water out, pray on the water for them. Do something like that for them. They usually, they really do. They appreciate it. Light a candle for them. They love that kind of stuff. So, love you guys.